big game, and they play for an axe, that annual contest to see which of these Bay Area schools will reign supreme. And after today, only one will be standing tall like a tree or chopping away at one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Golden Bears in Berkeley in California Memorial Stadium. As we'll see a squad from the Pac-12, the Stanford Cardinal, taking on the 16th-ranked team in the land, the California Golden Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Stanford about to tee it up to get this one going. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He's out of bounds at the 27-yard line to a couple extra yards of field position for this offense to start. So California's offense will have the football first. The Bears put a whipping on Stanford the last time these two teams met, blowing out the Cardinals.
Blowing them out, creating momentum, creating mojo, getting the bragging rights in this rivalry. That is always something Cal fans look forward to. Giving it to Stanford fans for a whole year, especially when you beat them down.
Yeah, it just seemed for Cal last year like that was personal to them, right? They were so angry heading into that game. They wanted to make an example of their rival, and that's the way it should be every year for both these teams. That's what rivalry games are. It is personal, not just for the players, but for the fans as well.
He works his way across the 40-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 41. The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10.
This is a tight end that not only is going to play with his hand in the ground, but he can line up in the slot as well and attack the defense vertically. He's too fast for linebackers to cover, and he's too big for DBs to cover. He's a real weapon in this offense.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Looking for a man. It's Gage. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
Well, this is a quarterback who's not known for his running ability, obviously. We've seen him make some great throws, but mobility, that's probably not on your bingo card, and you saw it right there. He gets brought down for the sack.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll... Fourth down. The Golden Bears will call on their punt team. Looks as if they might have a little something going on that drive, but they'll have to kick it. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. So Stanford's offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. And how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in...
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse. Do they let him make it? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups? Or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays.
Well, one thing we know about him for sure is he's a believer in his own arm talent. He's the kind of guy that thinks he can fit the football into the smallest windows, but you're right. He's got to pick his battles and be careful when he decides to attack this guy, because he has picked off some really good quarterbacks in the past, and you know he's just licking his chops, hoping for a chance today.
Stanford at the line, needing to convert on 3rd and short. Surging forward on the sneak. There's always one thing sure to get the juices flowing for the Cardinal and the sturdy Golden Bears, and that's anything to do with the axe, guys.
Yeah, and the trophy games are fun. It's not a real axe, by the way. It's kind of a trophy with an axe on it. But this means something to them. It means something to the fans. All the pranks, all the history behind it, Palmer.
Yeah, it's really actually more of a clap, which is interesting. But regardless, it doesn't matter what the records are between these two teams. Stanford and Cal, it comes down to this game. This is bragging rights, not just today, but for the rest of the year.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. After the run, now to throw. With the catch, it's Milner. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. Guys, let's take a big picture view of Stanford. For programs at this level, they are regularly fighting off the big school for diamonds in the rough, but it looks as if they won this battle with a commitment from a 3-star receiver, Jesse.
He just thought he had better opportunities on and off the field here at this program. He's going to get a lot of chances to make plays early. With his talent, expect him to start right away, and if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm going to be trying to find ways to get this 3-star the ball.
Stanford lines up to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. First boot of the day is on its way. He was called on 3 times in that loss last week. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
And the Golden Bears can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Finds the tight end. Turning it up. Oh, hops. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on the move. Just inside the 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 39. Throws for the tight end. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. This rivalry dates back to 1892, a mere 90 years before perhaps the most memorable play in college football history as Cal ran through the band on the field.
And that's a play they'll be talking about for another 250 years, no doubt. It's sort of synonymous with this rivalry between Cal and Stanford, and you never know. You never know any given year there's going to be a play that's just going to jump out at you, David, something you'll remember.
And I think one of the cool nuggets about this series, the big game in 1982, the band running on the field, the one y'all referenced, every year whoever has the Pax trophy, they change the score of that game. That's how petty this rivalry is. We just change history, change scores. I love it.
He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the 1st down. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Gage. Fires to the middle. Snags it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Golden Bears. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
The returner's going to try to see what he can get. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Stanford has it back. The Cardinal offense returning to the field. Finding themselves down 7-0. They'd love to get a drive going here. Looking downfield on 1st down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Milner.
The quick passing game does several things. One, it doesn't let the pass rush get you. Those great defensive linemen, the ball's coming out so fast they can't get there. And then what else? It gets me ahead of the sticks. I don't have to worry about getting in long yardage and predictable situations.
He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
They'll need to show urgency to get another play off before the clock hits 0. That's the end of the period, and Cal is on top. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They've got a 1st down here to open the period. Pulls it and fires to the left. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Great effort by the defense here. Offense trying to go wide receiver screen. How about the speed on defense rallying to the football?
One man in the backfield, and he gets it. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Offside, defense.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap count. I have to line up, see the ball. When the ball moves, I move. I know it's simple, but you still see guys jumping off sides all the time.
And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one. The Cardinal come to the line, facing 3rd and short. On the jet sweep, racing for the edge and the sticks. He didn't get it. Not only that, he lost yardage. They bring the punter onto the field now. The This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was lethal, David.
Yeah, and you know, you hear all these stupid commentators like me and Jesse talking about create balance, run and pass. No, when you throw that good, spin the ball around.
So the defense has to find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
The offense has it 1st and 10 from the 42. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
The Golden Bears come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Using the quick game, working their way closer and closer, a 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26. And the Golden Bears have their offense in high gear.
It's tough on the defense there. 3rd down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but...
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Cal!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can...
Breaks into the open. Changing on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the 1st down.
Tight end now in motion. Give to the running back. Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Stanford with a lot of options here on 2nd and short. He'll keep it himself. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Stanford to the line on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got his man. And he gets it done on 3rd down. They move the chains and they'll mark it at the 44.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield and he moves the sticks.
Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated he missed that connection.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the 1st half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the 2nd half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
The run from the shotgun. And the ball's free in the backfield. And the defense jumps on it. They get that turnover.
It's raining in this game. It's making the football slick and slippery. You know ball security is going to be a massive issue. Both coaching staffs have preached about that to their teams in the locker rooms before taking the field. These guys really need to do a better job of holding on to the football.
Back to pass. It's Gage. Soft spot in the middle. He's finally stopped, and not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
You know, it's one thing to have all the accolades preseason and have all the expectations, but it's another thing to be able to go out and execute week in, week out. He's done that. He now has over 1,500 receiving yards on the year.
Looking to throw on first down. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
And that is exactly how you draw it up. You get to the quarterback, but you get the football out. You hit him, you try to rake it out. Great job by the defense. Getting the sack, getting the fumble.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout. And man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
Unfortunate with that incompletion. The quarterback and his intended target not on the same page.
The Cardinal come to the line with lots of work to do on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Shoots it to the left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Right down the gut of the field. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Cardinal.
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Dropping back, it's Gage. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Wants to go up top. Looking to the big tight end. Makes the grab. Moves up to the 34-yard line. Give him a 10-yard pickup. Lining up from the 34 on 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Addison. He'll go out of bounds right at the 40-yard line as his offense continues to show great patience. The Golden Bears with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Tight end finds a soft spot. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance. And the Golden Bears have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got him downfield. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Bears!
Well, this guy certainly, from a statistical standpoint, has done everything to deserve a trip to New York City. He has been a big playmaker week in, week out for this offense. Get this, that last touchdown was his 20th touchdown catch of the season. This guy has been unstoppable.
On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Reads it, fires complete. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. He'll do it himself. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Pulls and fires complete. He's going to have enough to pick up the 1st down as they stop him at the 33-yard line. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have 1 remaining in the half. On the run, it's Watkins. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line warp speed for 2nd down. Back to pass. And the defense got him at the 27. Referee signals timeout as the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Throws to the tight end. Complete in the middle. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. He stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying and have had very little success. Quick snap and a spike to stop the clock.
No gain on the play. Third down coming.
Stanford to the line on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Just had to get rid of that one to save the yardage on 3rd down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Dropping back, it's Gage. Finds his tight end. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. They'll use a timeout right before halftime, maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking downfield very late in the half. Close to the marker, it's Addison. They'll mark him down at the 37. It's a 10-yard gain. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Then massive expectations when the axe is on the line, and through 2 quarters, Cal and Stanford have not disappointed.
The Golden Bears will kick it away to start the second half. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. Stanford has him back, the Cardinal offense returning to the field. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important.
Oh, he's got some space. He gets across the 20-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 23.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick 6. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
Spins away from the defense. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The Cardinal can be aggressive here on 2nd and short. Give to the big fullback. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
Well, this defense has to know that this fullback, he's not just a blocker. He's a guy that can carry the football as well. He went ahead and got that first down.
This Stanford offense moving quickly down the field. Gonna run it. It's Watkins. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And coming out in the second half, this offense, they needed to establish this run game. They needed to get something going. They're losing. They've got to find a way to get a flow, to get a rhythm. And so far here to start this second half, Defense picking up where it left off.
They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a third down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. Trying to escape and get it himself. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on fourth down, trailing by double figures. Makes the grab, got the conversion, and still going. Touchdown, Stanford! A Lazarus-like comeback is underway.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14.
That makes the score Cal 21, Stanford 14.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. They still have the lead, but they need to respond to that last score. Gets it out fast. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Scanning the field, it's Gage. Got his man quickly. All the way out to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 15. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. From the shotgun, the inside give. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion, because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up? See if they can maybe...
There he goes! He goes out of bounds, but there is a flag on the field. Let's see what this one's about. A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. Throwing right. Working the big fella to the corner. All the way out across the 45-yard line. Mark it out of bounds at the 46. They're a couple of yards short of the first down, but the offense will stay out there on 4th down. Makes the grab past the marker. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. And the Golden Bears have it with a 1st and 10. Gonna look downfield again. And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
Obviously, when you're playing in weather like this, the ball is very slippery and it's hard to catch. The QB threw a bullet that time, and his receiver just could not reel it in.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Golden Bears come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. Back to throw, it's Gage. Makes the catch. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a first at the 29. That is just a perfect example of not deciding before the snap where you have to go with the ball.
Yeah, because that will get you in trouble. You can tell right away he wants to get the ball to his primary. He's covered. He comes off and does a nice job being patient, taking his time, hitting the drag route, getting the first down.
And the Golden Bears pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. They'll give it to him again. And nowhere to go this time, and he couldn't follow up the big run with another. Lost yardage on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Almost had the completion. Just missed it.
Man, that's one you expect him to make in his sleep, right? He's one of the better receivers in the entire country. He just dropped that one over the middle of the field.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Quick strike complete. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it first and goal. The Golden Bears had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. And he'll be stuck. Got nothing. Line of scrimmage still at the 4. They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on second and goal. Wants to go up top. Under fire. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Cal! The Bears have pushed out to a comfortable lead and now have their eyes on grabbing the axe.
And you know in any rivalry game, momentum is a massive factor. Cal right now seems to be seizing on that, David, here in the second half. Let's see if they can close this out.
And I love you gave me professional analysis, but let's get back to what Reese Davis said. It's not really an axe, Reese. It's actually a trophy that has an axe on it. So they're not going to grab an actual axe. And just any chance I get to call out Reese Davis for being wrong, I'm going to do it.
Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Pulls it fired complete. Open space at the 25. They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior makes a play after the grab. Final stand to the game, and we'll start with the first down. That's the end of the period, and Cal is on top. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Stanford with a fresh set of downs to open the final period. They run the reverse. And the big defensive front wins the battle. No gain on that play.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now trying to keep this drive alive on third and long from the 45. Here comes the heat. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. It's picked off, and that's number 10. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. From his end zone, trying to loosen up this D. Makes the catch. It's Addison. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. New set of downs after the completion. Motion from the wideout. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Got a little space. Turning it on. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one. And the Golden Bears come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking for space. It's Addison. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get it done.
They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. When your best is demanded on a big stage like this against a rival, he has delivered, cracking the 150-yard mark.
No doubt about it. What do we say? Big-time players make big plays in big games. Games don't get bigger than this for this team right here, and this guy, David, has shown up today.
Man, it's so nice as a coach to have that dude that you know you can count on. He'll put up big numbers, and he's been carrying this offense.
And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be third down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Quickly out to the tight end. Touchdown, Golden Bears! A great catch and run for 6. That'll give them a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When we got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Spins away from the defender. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play.
Yeah, and a nice big pickup on the ground. Palmer, you could have used some of this earlier in the game. Are you calling runs at this point?
No, I'd be a little bit more aggressive, I think, throwing it. I think part of it right now is because the defense, they've got the lead big. They're just playing a little bit more zone, a little bit more prevent. They're fine letting this offense just chip down the field, but they're wasting time off the clock.
Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. A safe call on the wide receiver screen. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Cardinal come to the line with lots of work to do on third down. The snap sets up to throw. Unleashes one. And they fail to hook up on third down.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Fires one high and deep. And it's incomplete, and this defense makes a 4th down stop.
There's not many play calls on the sheet to score a bunch of points really quickly, so you got to go for it here. I like the aggressiveness, but this offense continues to miss the mark, and they just got to score more points. They got to do better, right, Palmer? That's expert analysis. They got to do better.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Stop just inside the 25. We'll mark it at the 24. Pickup of 10 and a first down. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Pressure coming. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. So now it's 2nd and long. Wants to throw. It's Gage. Here's a heat. We've reached a 2-minute timeout. In all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. They've got a ways to go on third down from the 24 as this defense tries to force him into a field goal try. He is stopped right at the 21-yard line, and now it'll be 4th down and decision time. They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And now the lead's extended a little further.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest of this way, and we looking pretty good.
looking for those open spaces and opportunity. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Stanford offense making its way back onto the field. Not a lot to feel great about in this one, Jesse, but I'm sure they'll try to seek out some positives.
Well, this might be an opportunity, too, Reese, to go back when they watch this game and just find the plays and the schemes that were working. There weren't a lot, obviously, David, but maybe an opportunity for the coaching staff to condense the playbook a little bit.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of good to go back to. That'd be a quick film session because there was more negatives than positives. But when you look at this week you've got a week to figure it out, figure out what your offense is going to be moving forward.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
And this game is obviously out of hand. But I think the fans would argue, too, at this point, like, all right, well, let's not throw checkdowns, right? Let's throw some deep balls and continue to open up this offense and keep fighting. I think that's what you want to see. You want to see your squad not quit. Keep fighting until the very end of the football game.
They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
How about the job by this defense today? They knew what they were getting into. A really good running back. We talked to him this week. It was the main focus point of this offense, stopping the run game, stopping the run game. Boy, have they showed up and showed.
Converts on fourth down. Still going. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
Really nice job by the offense. Hey, man, trust your guys, right? We got all these analytics on fourth down, set it, go for it. They trust their quarterback. He gets it done with the completion and gets the big first down.
He'll pull it on the read.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense. Understand, listen, that QB is a threat. And they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
The offense will quickly use a timeout. What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Looking to fire. Quickly to the tight end. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some dip.
Ball is loose. Recovers the fumble, and he's still going. Breaks into the open. He's dragged down to the ground, but what a play there. Scoops up the loose football and moves the chains.
Good awareness by the offense. You never want to see the ball on the ground, but a nice job understanding to just kind of jump on it and make sure you keep possession.
The game is over. Band is not on the field, and it is the sturdy Golden Bears who will come home with the coveted axe after beating Stanford. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.